Joining me now, Democratic Congressman from California, Adam Schiff. He represents parts of Los Angeles County, is a member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, thanks for being with us.
It's a pleasure.
Let's talk about what exactly Vladimir Putin is up to. You know, he's putting on different faces, and he's saying that very clearly he had nothing to do with it. What exactly is going on?
Well, and it's really startling in its audacity that he can deny what is so plainly obvious. You know, we see these massive convoys of military vehicles going from Russia into Ukraine. You can't tell me that Putin can't control his own military. Plainly, they're supplying the separatists, training the separatists, and now they're trying to walk away from this tragedy and say, well, let's wait till the investigation plays out. Well, the investigation may determine who has to compensate the victims, but there's really no doubt about what took place. And I think what Putin had hoped for was to reestablish the Russian Empire. And unfortunately, the very muted international reaction when Russians seized part of Georgia, the Republic of Georgia, I think encouraged him that he could go into Ukraine and would similarly face very little blowback.
And he was right.
He was right in Georgia, unfortunately, and he was right initially in Ukraine. But as things escalated, as Ukraine stood up to him, and then with this tragic downing of this aircraft, I think the tables have turned on Putin.
So now the big question is Europe, because the United States has already placed sanctions, and they've been very forthright about their opposition to this. But Europe in the past has been kind of reticent because any sanctions they place on Russia are really sanctions against themselves because they depend so much on the Russian oil and natural gas.
Well, that's very true, and that's why it's been so hard to get them to step up and even do what we're doing, let alone go beyond it. I hope this will catalyze them into action because while, yes, it affects their economy more, they are also more directly impacted by the security threat from Russia.
Let's talk about Israel, Gaza, the Middle East. Secretary Kerry is heading over to Egypt today. It's so difficult, such a difficult situation. Can the United States do something to help mitigate this?
Well, I think the United States can, but it's going to be very tough. Until those rockets stop, until the efforts to infiltrate Israel through the tunnels stop by Hamas, Israel's going to have to defend itself. But I think what Kerry can do is try to bring some of our regional allies in to get them to put pressure on Hamas to stop the rocket fire, to bring about a ceasefire. I think Israel has wanted a ceasefire. They agreed to the ceasefire Egypt proposed. The question is, can we get Hamas to agree to a ceasefire?
And the question is this ceasefire going to hold? Because there have been attempts in the past, and it simply doesn't long term. Meanwhile, people are bleeding to death on both sides.
You know, it's a terrible tragedy. I mean, inevitably, when you have a conflict like this, there's going to be a lot of loss of innocent life. So I certainly hope Kerry's mission is successful. He's taken a lot of tough jobs these days. But at the end of the day, you can imagine if rockets were falling in the United States, Israel's going to have to defend itself.
Congressman, thanks for being with us.
Congratulations on your award. Great to have you in Los Angeles.
Thank you so very much. It's a pleasure to be here, sir. Look forward to having more chats with you.